What if the quiet move that flips Detroit's season is already sitting there, one phone call away? And the only reason you haven't heard it yet is because the people who know how to win don't post their plans on Instagram? What if the next 3 games didn't have to feel like a weekly stress test for your heart rate monitor? Because a certain veteran with ice in his veins just happens to fit everything Aaron Glenn loves when the ball's in the air and the stadium's shaking. Feel the urgency yet? Good, because while the league is busy counting how many healthy corners we don't have, there's a door that opens straight into January football if you know where to push. It's not a blockbuster that empties your draft drawer. It's not a save me daddy trade. It's a pro's pro who's seen every root on the tree and knows exactly when quarterbacks start lying with their eyes. Here's what you're getting today. We're going to lay out the why now. The cap math that won't melt your brain. The on-field fit in normal human language. The ripple effects for the room. And the risk profile without salesmanship. We'll break down the timeline, the role, and what happens when the young studs return and you suddenly have options. Imagine that options. You're watching Lions News Fan Report. Drop a fast one pride in the comments. Smack that subscribe so you don't miss the next roster twist. And let's get to work before someone else gets smarter than us. Let's start with the part nobody argues. Bodies are down. Snaps are heavy, and coordinators smell blood. This is the league's favorite hobby: find the thin spot and poke it until it breaks. We can dress it up with next man up, and sure, the guys have fought, but every defense has a limit. Ours is one more boundary injury away from asking a special teamer to erase. No, one receiver on national TV. That's called living dangerously. Not building SUSTAINABLY. The current room is surviving on grit and caffeine. Pros doing pro things, but the margin for error is a toothpick. Play action plus deep over plus late motion equals your boundary corner in a stress position. And that's before the fourth quarter when legs get heavy and timing throws get faster. We're a tough team built the right way. Tough doesn't mean stubborn. Stubborn gets you beaten the last 4 minutes dot, so what's on the menu? Promote from within and hope the growth curve is a speed ramp, not a staircase. Poach a practice squad DB and pray he learns your language by Thursday. Swing big for a headline name and watch your day 2 picks leave your wallet like concert cash. Or call a vet whose tape already solves the exact third down issues we're squinting at on Mondays. The profile is not a mystery. You want length, root IQ, ball skills that show up on money downs, and the emotional stability to not chase ghosts when offenses dress up the same play in 5 different outfits. You want a boundary adult who understands leverage like tax accountants understand. April. You want a closer. There is one name that fits the job description so cleanly it almost feels scripted. He's worn the star. He's worn the horseshoe. He's taken footballs away in January like it's a side hustle, and he still studies like a rookie trying to make the team. His resume says, I've been the answer, and his game says, I still pick my spots like a surgeon. Ready? Stephen Gilmore to the Detroit Lions. That's the idea on the table, and the one that checks all the boxes that actually matter. This isn't a track meet signing. This is a 3rd and 7 signing. This is read the stem, undercut the break, steal the ball, walk off the field like you just paid the electric bill energy. He's a pressman craftsman who can also play with vision in match and quarters. And he doesn't panic when offensive coordinators stack releases and try to create traffic. He is the definition of veteran calm in a 2-minute drill. Let's talk fit in real terms. Ags World asks outside corners to live with isolation, then pass off traffic with their eyes hot. Gilmore's game thrives on patience off the line mirror, squeeze, hands late. He forces quarterbacks to be perfect, and most of them aren't when Aiden and the rush are closing the pocket like an elevator. He doesn't have to win by a yard when he wins by a half step plus timing plus hands. That half step is the difference between 2nd and 10 and a truck stick touchdown. Roll clarity is key. Day 1, he stabilizes the boundary and lets everyone else be themselves. Avani is freer inside. Rock isn't playing superhero ball every snap. Safeties get to disguise, not babysit. When the room gets healthy, you live in flexibility instead of fear. Gilmore can travel with certain archetypes. He can lock the high leverage side, or he can be the closer who gets the red zone and third down menu. You build packages, not excuses. Money matters, so let's speak adult. This is a 1-year playoff weighted incentives play. Manageable base, easy cap hit. Add voids if you want to be cute, nothing that stops you from re-upping your own guys in March. You're not shipping picks. You're buying competence in January experience for cash that doesn't make your accountant cry. That's how contenders act. Targeted, not thirsty. Timeline is friendly. Day 1. Language, alerts, hand signals. Day 3. Third down menu. Day 5. Red zone checks. Day 7. Play. You don't need him to learn the library. You need him to master the hallway where the important doors are. He's been in complex systems. The ramp is short because the brain is big. Let's be honest about risk. Age is undefeated in the 100-meter dash, and no one is asking him to race Tyreek on a Tuesday. But if you set help correctly, live in leverage, and let the rush do rush things, you're playing to his strengths. Eyes, angles, timing, tackling with form, not drama. The GPS miles go down when the snap count is smart. And that's the entire point. Use the veteran in high-value spots. Not as a 70-snap Ironman. Culture test? Dan Campbell's locker room doesn't do tourists. Gilmore's brand is workmanlike. Study, communicate, compete, repeat. You're not importing volume. You're importing clarity. That matters on the sideline when the game goes weird and everybody's heartbeat is trying to climb a ladder. Vets like him make calls sound quieter because everyone trusts the eyes making them. Ripple effects show up fast. Fewer emergency snaps for guys playing out of position. Cleaner safety angles because the corner is not overcommitting. And gets to call what he wants, not just what he can survive. Sim pressures without panic. Late rotation without prayer. And suddenly, your defense feels like it's dictating terms again instead of negotiating every drive. Out to January. The whole point. Every playoff game has 3 snaps where the season tilts. Do you have the adult who erases a coordinator's favorite concept on 3rd and goal? Or do you have the almost that turns into 7, a headset slam, and a long, icy bus ride? Gilmore doesn't buy rings at Costco, but he has played the exact downs we need to win against the exact quarterbacks we will see. Could you chase a headline trade? Sure, and then you can watch your day 2 picks pack their bags and your cap flexibility take a long nap. Could you poach a PS corner and hope he becomes a folk hero by Thanksgiving? Yep, but hope is not planned. Front offices that know they're in the window make the adult move. Low cost, high clarity, playoff utility. That's this. Now the part you demand because you're smart. Is this locked or live? It's live. Real conversations, real football logic, and the kind of fit that makes too much sense not to explore. There's no parade route yet. Until there's ink, it's a well-sourced, well-reasoned speculation that matches need plus market plus timeline. Translation. Good enough to break down. Not enough to engrave a nameplate. I want your take before the calls get made. 1 year with playoff escalators, yes or no? What's your snap plan when the room's healthy? Who rotates, who travels, and who closes? Are you cool with a vet who wins with leverage and brain over 40 time? Drop contract numbers, role ideas, even snap counts in the comments, situational closer, or starter until the kids heal? Here's where I land. I'm in. My opinion, this is the right kind of aggressive for a team that believes it belongs in January. Clear role, sensible money, playoff value. You're not mortgaging tomorrow. You're stabilizing today. And yes, this is a speculation.